I'd like to make a video about guys on Match.com who push for sex right away and what I think about having sex right away. So for me, I am at a point now in my life with my sexuality that I want to have an emotional connection with the person and feel emotionally connected and know the person before I have sex with the person. I'm kind of beyond having sex with strangers. Now, if a guy was like super freaking hot, like a calendar model hot, maybe, but even then, I don't think so. I have had my share of immediate sex, and what I really want is to develop the emotional intimacy, have time to get to know the person, have like discussions about sex and what we like before we actually have sex. I used to be a person that wanted to start with sex until maybe a year or two ago. I always thought, I want to start with sex. If I like you in bed, I'll get to know you. And there was this rigidity around it. I was worried that I would end up with someone who wasn't sexual in the way that I needed. So it was based out of fear and avoidance. I want to say that I was afraid that I would date a guy like him and then he would suck in bed, like a repeat of my marriage. Or that, and I was also avoiding, I was comfortable starting with sex because I was avoiding getting to know someone emotionally first, and I was rushing things. What I'm looking for now in a man, I like when a man is able to be present and enjoy the moment. Like, can I enjoy you when we're just walking on the beach? You're not spending money on me. I'm not giving you pussy. You're not spending money, like the traditional things that women often want from men. Like, will you pay for me? You know, do you have money? And what men want from women often, I know this is kind of stereotypical, like, can I slide it in your pussy, you know? And can we just enjoy being together? I want to discover that. I want to know that I can just enjoy being with you. And I think that would make sense for a man. Like, can this woman enjoy being with you without you spending money on her? Can this man enjoy being with me without having sex? Can I enjoy being with you without you spending money on me or us having sex? That's what I want to know before I get more intimate. And I think it's a great challenge for us to think about, why can't we develop our emotional intimacy? You know, develop emotional intimacy, have some vulnerable conversations, get to know each other through our hearts and our minds first. Okay, because once people have sex right away, it's easier to overlook the other parts. And also for me, I don't want sex with guys right away that I don't know. I don't really want that anymore. I don't want that anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with it if people want that, but I don't want that anymore. There are some people I'm meeting, guys on Match.com, who want to have sex right away. Like, that's their thing. And then I'm like, well, you can't enjoy me. Like, can you get pleasure out of the moon? You know, I think that when people are in such a hurry to get to sex, it makes me think they're not able to get joy and pleasure out of everyday things, like fresh cut grass, a child's laughter, the moon, seeing my joy, hearing my ideas. Like, can you enjoy a conversation with me, or will you always feel like there's something lacking because you need the sex? Can you enjoy seeing the curve of my shoulders and the light dancing off my hair? Can you enjoy that? Can you enjoy just your own full heart walking next to me, or you need my body? See what I'm saying? Like, I definitely want good sex, believe me. I think that when people rush to sex, it could be because they're avoiding their emotions. They're avoiding like the joy of being present and enjoying all the other aspects of the person. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to say is that I want to know how comfortable you are with my sexuality before I offer it to you. I want to test you a little bit. Like, are you comfortable with the fact that I'm a sexual person and not just that you own me? Like, can I be free with you sexually? Like, I gotta know some things about you first before I offer you all of that. Like, are you gonna be threatened by the fact that I have a sexual past? Are you gonna be jealous? Are you going to celebrate it? You know, do you honor my sexuality, or do you want to own it? Like, there's so much I want to discover about you before I become sexual with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with having sex on the first date if that's what you want to do. And maybe there will be a guy who I'm like, this is the guy for me. I want to have sex with him right away because I feel so comfortable with him. I have to feel that way. And I usually don't feel that way. I'm like, I look at some of these guys and I'm like, well, I don't know you. You know, I want to get to know you a little bit before I want you that close to me. And I'm not going to make myself wrong for that. I'm not going to make myself wrong for that. Of course, there have been times when I did have sex on the first date, or that I just wanted sex, and maybe I will want that again in the future. However, right now I don't want that. I want more depth and more fullness. I'm not afraid of dating some guy, liking him, and if the sex sucks and we don't mesh, ending it, you know? So that's how I feel about it. But there are some men on Match that are looking for a relationship and they want sex right away. So they want a sexual relationship and they want sex immediately, to start with immediately, and that's not my person. That's not my person. And there are a lot of people who have these one relationship after another that don't work out. You know, and maybe they got to take a look at that. I'm proud of the fact that I've been single for 8 years. I kind of think that the next guy that I date will be probably my next relationship. At the same time, I'm not sure I want a relationship. There's so many trapping parts. Like, how many parts of myself do I have to leave behind to be someone's girlfriend? Which parts of myself do I have to abandon? My sexuality, my sexual past, my passions, my wildness. And I'm not willing to abandon any of that. Not willing to abandon any of that. My feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, I'm not willing to abandon any of that. So I talk to guys about sex on the first date, and I've thought of before about not doing it, but the reason I do it, I test them. I let them know I've fucked young guys. I have a porn page. I often let them know that, not always, because I'm testing them. If that's a problem for you, you can't handle me. Like, I'm testing them. Can you handle me? Can you be present and enjoy just walking on the beach with me? Can you wait to have sex? Do you care how I feel? Like, I'm testing them. At the same time, they're testing me if I can give them what they want. I just know this. I want to know a man before I have sex with him, unless he's a client. And I also am not willing to ever again kill off a part of myself to be a good wife or a good girlfriend. Never, ever again. So I'm going to be who I am, and with the right person, it won't be a problem. But yeah, there are a lot of guys on Match.com who are looking for sex, one-night stands, I think, or relationships that start with sex. And they're just a little bit too needy for me. They're not able to let things develop. I'm talking to some younger guys on Match just to have conversations, and they're a lot more respectful. And there's some older men too. There are enough men who are super respectful. They enjoy talking to me, getting to know me. They're not so rushed about sex. And likewise, I haven't asked any of these guys what they do for work. I don't care what they do for work. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care what they do for work. You know, I'm not looking for some sugar daddy, and they shouldn't be looking for some pussy either. You know, can we just enjoy each other and get to know each other? That's where I'm at, and I need someone who's at that same calm level. Hey, I know we all want sex, but just pushing for sex or pushing for someone to give you something is a turnoff to me. So, but yeah, so there are a lot of people, and just like there are a lot of men just looking for sex, there are a lot of women looking for money. I want a guy to provide for me. I want a guy with money, you know. And again, just remember, even if a guy has money, it can be fucking tightwad. So some of the men with no money are the most generous.